Welcome to Science 9 in the AM. And this is the, hey, do we have a group? Gary. Welcome to Team Gary. We're doing science. And we've done the experiment. We've got some inconclusive results, but I want to record this to just recap, because we're going to write up together. Having fun with staff. Our study question was, what charge does the black Ebenite stick and the balloon pick up? So we changed that to a purpose, pardon me, to determine the charge. You just don't make it a question, same state, same information. Our purpose was to determine the charge on the balloon and on the Ebenite rod. We got mixed results. So a conclusion should always address the purpose. So your last thing you're going to write up after your data is the word conclusion. Then we're going to go through what I expect on the write-up. And you're going to self-mark it because I want you to make your lab 100%. This is a learning thing, but I'll give you marks for it so that you know how I mark it. So start with the label conclusion right now. Conclusion. Wherever. If you have half a page, though, you can write it right underneath the data. Whatever's neat and tidy and that your teacher, me, can read. You can actually probably slip it in. It's not going to be a long. Okay. So I'm going to look at my data after I write the word conclusion. I'm looking around, sure. Okay. And we're going to figure it out. Two things. Well, one we don't have figured, but Ebenite rod repelled the vinyl, the negative vinyl, so we figured it must be negative. The Ebenite rod attracted to the positive acetate. So that one we can say with some confidence that I think it's negative, right? We're going to use a statement that our data shows, and here we're going to, maybe I'll write it down. Well, no, you guys can listen and do this. Our data, and this is the class's data. We don't just rely on one group. So we've got 11 different groups. Our data shows that the Ebenite rod is negative. Now, there's more to this. You're writing this down, everybody, because all of you need the marks. Our data shows that the Ebenite rod is negative. Now, I might not say it the exact same every time when I repeat myself because I'm not writing it down. But you get the gist. We know this because, who says? We know this because, I'll just wait. Yeah, okay. Everything is going to start re-recording. Okay. The first sentence that I'm going to recap everything here, I forget where I stopped recording. We said that the Ebenite rod is negative. We know this because it repelled the negative vinyl strip and attracted the positive acetate. Into that sense. Then we went to the balloon. We cannot, I don't know how I said it, so it's going to be the same information. But, okay, back to the, are you talking about the Ebenite? I'm talking, okay, are you clear? I want to clarify which one you're talking about. Ebenite. Ebenite is most likely negative since, and then new sentence. We know this because it repelled the negative vinyl and attracted the positive acetate. End of that sentence. Now, as far as the balloon, you're going to just write down inconclusive, or we could not make a decision because we had mixed results. We're going to just say that. Okay? And so that's it. There's nothing further to explain. Mixed results. We don't have a conclusion about the balloon. It definitely has static, though. Out of all the things, it's the most static. We could read in the textbook, and it says later on in this textbook what the charge is, but our data is what we're sticking with. We're not, I don't want you guys thinking that science is just facts out of a textbook. It's a process too, right? There's a bit of that fact stuff. Doing science is what I want to concentrate on this year. Okay, now I want you to mark your own, and you're going to make corrections, and then I'm going to give you marks for it. But I want you to get 100%. So you're going to the first page. Now, yes, we used the September 7th date because that's when we started, but then we had pictures. And then we did September 8th, and then we had textbooks that took a long time to do. So here we are, it's September 11th, but keep it as September 7th. I want you to write down your name if you didn't already. I want you to write down your partner's name, and this is for all labs, so this is why I'm going through this. Okay? Stelio, do you have your name on that and your partner's name? Yep. You have two partners, plural. Partners. And if over 2 days you worked with two different people, because someone's absent today, you write both of their names down. If you need the name of someone because they're not here, you don't remember, ask me. If you don't know the person you're working with, ask them. This is all about meeting people and working together. So, name, title, date. Partners too. Now, the marks. I will typically give you a mark for purpose. So you're going to put a check mark. That's one. I'm going to put a check mark. You're going to put a check mark here because I think you've got this exactly. 1 mark. Often you're going to form your own purpose. Well, usually do it as you go. I'll usually say, what's the question? And then you got to convert that to a purpose statement. The objective. Safety has to be listed. I'm not going to give you a mark this time. But other ones, when we're using chemicals and stuff, if there's a safety concern or concerns plural, I will give a mark. If you copy out a procedure, sometimes you guys are making up your own procedures. I'm going to give you guys a mark. And often it needs a diagram because it's easier to follow a diagram to set something up then. So you give yourself a mark for this. Second mark. Okay. Yeah. This is everybody. The data. That's the important. Now, sometimes it'll be a chart, sometimes it'll be long-winded explanations in many paragraphs. Today, a chart, the chart was appropriate, kind of a list, right? I'm going to give you guys 2 marks for all this data, and I would look through the data and make sure you had it explained as well as, it depends, sometimes it's number data. So I'm going to put 2 check marks here. We're up to 4 marks. Different labs, more complex data. Some labs don't have much data at all. So sometimes it's 1 mark, sometimes it's 3 marks. Okay. Okay. And you fill this out basically as long as you work with us. Okay. Is there any questions about the data? Good. So then the last thing I always look for is the conclusion. Now, I didn't write out the conclusion. This is a 1 mark conclusion, because we really only came to 1 conclusion with 2 things. Sometimes I'll ask you guys for a little more on a conclusion. I'll let you know ahead of time. Sometimes it's 3 marks, but you definitely need the conclusion. This is 5 marks now, right? Because the 5th mark is the conclusion. So 1 mark for the purpose. Was that 5 marks? Yeah. 1 mark for the procedure, 2 marks for your data, and the 5th mark for the conclusion. You should have 5, right? put a mark out of 5 beside your name. Yeah. That's typically where I'll put. I think all of you have 5 out of 5, unless you're a really hard marker. Maybe you can't read your own writing or something. But the whole purpose of this was to have learn a little bit about statics. We're introducing it, electric static charge. And the other purpose, though, was also to understand what I want to see in your lab write-ups. Right? Okay. I'm going to collect those marks. I'm going to stop the recording.